Right lads, here we are. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to episode 15 of Glory Glory Man United. Start of season 3. We've done some transfers. I think we've got 5 in, about 6 out. We're going to dive straight in. We've got the opening league game of the season away at Wolves. Remember, we're playing with a new formation now. We've got 2 on the go. We've got a 4-4-1-1 and a 4-2-3-1. We'll go through them before we start today's games. Right, let's see what business we've done this summer and make sure you like today's video, and if you are new, hit that subscribe button. Right, let's get into it. Right, first one gone, Julian Draxler. 26 mil. Remember, we wanted to trim the squad. We have got in a wide player, but I did sell him before because we still had James, Sancho, Rashford, Martial. Greenwood can even do a job out there. James, Martins. We've got so many options in them 2 wide positions. It didn't really make sense to have someone who we were paying 145 grand a week and was just sat on the bench. He wasn't English. He wasn't a youngster going through the system, so I thought it made sense to let him go. Right, next one, an obvious one, Luke Shaw. 28 million, I think you can kind of guess what's happened. I think the main, people were telling me to get rid of him. Some people were saying to keep him. I think the main thing behind it is that I'm not a big fan of him in real life. For me, he's very average, doesn't offer a great deal going forward. It doesn't even offer, his defensive duties are not too shabby. But once again, he's a bit average both ends, which makes him a very, very dull fullback. He's also injury prone. He gets injured a lot. I think even in the game he's been injured. So since we started the game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 injuries. A lot of knocks and stuff, but it does rule him out of games. So we have cashed in £28 million to Atletico Madrid. Right, the next one, Zapata has gone to Real Madrid. 37.5 million. It was the first bit of business. As soon as the FA Cup finished, I basically went through and transfer listed a fair few. 37.5 up front, not paying any of his wages. It was the easiest deal done. I'm a little bit disappointed that I've let him go, but I just didn't want to see a few players like him getting in the way of our youngsters' development. I think if I get Fenerbahce going and I can afford to bring in him, I'd like to have another go with Zapata at some point in FM20, because just where all the greens are is where you want stuff. His finishing, his heading, strength, pace, balance, anticipation, determination for a striker. Makes him very versatile. I'd like to give him more of a go. And by the looks of it, he's done pretty well over the summer, playing for Colombia and in pre-season for Madrid. Alexis Sanchez has gone free transfer. We're still paying £245,000 a week for him, but it was the only offer that came in. That means we've kind of lost 255,000 off the books every week. We have no room for him. He had a year left on his deal. We were never going to be able to sell him, so we got rid. Gomez has gone out on loan. Highly unlikely that he's going to feature for us. He's just a little bit lacking. He's only 20, but he's still lacking in certain areas. We may look at having him as backup, but he's now at loan at Preston. He didn't have a great spell in his 2 loan spells so far, so this is going to be a make or break season for him. He really needs to be knocking on 15 goals and assists between both of them, and then an average rating of 7+. That's what I want to see from him this season. We've let Chong go as well. He's gone permanently, £80 million. Probably better than Gomez, but he wanted to leave. He wasn't very happy. He actually plays on the opposite side to what we do anyway. He still says he can play as a winger. His crossing ain't great. I'm not the biggest fan of him in real life, so I think that has prompted a move. £8 million to Augsburg. We will keep an eye on him, but I don't think he's going to be good enough to really trouble our starting 11. Right, let's get into the ins. We'll start small and then we'll get bigger. So the smallest one of the lot, Troy Deeney. So remember, heart, overhead, real life, big fan of Troy Deeney, bit of a leader, just a complete backup option. I was planning on selling Martial, and the deals weren't good enough, so we've got Martial in. So even Deeney's probably going to be third, fourth, maybe even fifth choice, because I have bought a wide player that can play up top. But when we go 2 up, he might be good as a sort of like an emergency striker. He's happy, look, emergency backup. He's not going to cause us too many problems asking for more game time. He also didn't fit the bill for being over 30 because he's 33, but the board were happy because of the other signings that we'd made. They weren't too bothered. We have now got the youngest squad in the Premier League. Right. Soyuncu is in. 25.5 million. We were centre back short. So we've done a bit of business. It was relegated with Leicester. Lord Farquhar, but he's good. Jumping reach 16, pace, pretty good. Marking 16, tackling 16, heading not amazing, but anticipation, bravery, determination. I think everything that you want in a defender is as comfortable as he is, playing the ball out, passing 12, not bad. No nonsense centre half as well. He can do it all. But he's going to be 4th choice because I want to give Twanzebe more game time. Potentially may take over from Eric Bailly because he's in his last year of his deal. And I'm going to be a little bit more business savvy, I think, on this save and not just sign and keep players on for the sake of it. So it'd be interesting to see how he develops over the course of the season. Briel Mbolo is the next one in. 33 million. We've literally just done it. He's just played in the Community Shield. Missed a penalty. So not a great start for him. Reasons because awesome physicals. He can do right midfield. He can do the right side, left side, even in behind. Pressing forward is natural as well. So a very, very valuable option to have in the squad. I think I'm going to start him as a first choice to start with, just ahead of Gelson Martins. Gelson Martins is out for about 2 months as well. So that means he's going to get a good opportunity to play out on the right. And I thought £33 million was a decent bit of business. He scored a fair few goals as well for Mönchengladbach. So I thought that was a decent bit of business. We haven't gone completely wild like I did on FM20 with Man United transfers, but I thought that was a good one. He's a decent age as well, 24, so plenty of room, plenty of time to make that deal look very, very cheap. Right, the big two. Ben Chilwell, probably the most obvious one of the summer, £50 million. As I said, big fan of him, not so much Luke Shaw. It was maybe a real life kind of decision rather than FM decision. He's probably just slightly better. He is younger, costing us less a week as well. I think Luke Shaw was on 140 grand. Ben Chilwell is on 74. So we've done a little bit of business there. And it just freshens up the squad a little bit. The big one, Kyle Havertz. Now I was half thinking about playing an advanced playmaker, getting someone in so I could drop Pogba back a little bit deeper. He was transfer listed. 60 million. Bang. Slapped it in straight away. He's had 2 very, very good seasons with Bayer Leverkusen. There was Munich, Juventus and Barcelona all chasing him. But we plumped in a bid straight away. 60 million up front. Offered him pretty much what he wanted. I thought £60 million was very cheap as well. So I'm very excited to see how he does over the course of this series. Can he be the wonder kid that does turn into an absolute superstar? Right, they're the ins and outs. In all, 169 in, 100 million out. Also, Juan Mata has been released. He's been snapped up by Shakhtar. So the squad is pretty big. We've got a couple of issues with, let me have a look. Ghana wants to go out on loan. I did reject a loan deal, but I think I might need to send him out there because I do want to give this Hannibal Mejbri a go, get him a little bit more game time. So I think I'm with McTominay in there as well, Van der Beek in there as well. We may look at having to really move someone on just as a loan and then long term look at what we're going to do with Van der Beek. He may not be happy playing second fiddle. So we've got plenty of options. As I said, we want to give Mason Greenwood as much time as possible. And that's about it. Pre-season was okay. We kind of breezed through a few games. Disappointing, not performance, but disappointing result against Bayern Munich. The game was very 50-50. And then we've just lost on pens to Arsenal. Disappointingly, they scored late on. We probably edged it. I did do my more negative 4-4-1-1 to be a little bit more compact. I thought it worked really well. But today we're going with the 4-2-3-1. Now this is it. So we've got three tactics working. This is the one that we played against Arsenal, just a little bit more reserved. We've then got this one when the 2 wide men are pushing up a little bit, and we've gone from a low block to a pretty much gegenpressing sort of system, so we can really get at the lower end teams. Sancho out injured, Martin's out injured, Wan-Bissaka out injured. So we've got, Dalot struggling as well. Brilliant. Who can be my third choice centre-half? We'll have to go Tuanzebe, aren't we? Right. Hopefully that's not going to be too much of an impact on us. So De Gea, Tuanzebe, Maguire, Bailly, Chilwell, Pogba, Kante, Embolo, Havertz, Martial, who I did want to get rid of. He's now still surplus to requirements. I've always thought there was a little thing where you could change his... I can't actually change. Someone will probably, if you could tell me in the comments, you could usually just change his... Because obviously he's surplus to requirements. He kind of is and isn't. I'd rather tell someone he's going to be back up rather than he's not needed. But he's getting a start today just because we've done Greenwood in pre-season up front and he's not quite bang at it. Rashford's our number one striker, so I think it's important to give him the start today. Right, let's get into it. Hopefully we can start the season with a win. Hopefully you'll see a more attacking Man United. They've got in Willian, who was on a free. It looks like they've got picked up Harry Wilson. Oh, the one player that we missed out on. Rafa Benitez in charge of Wolves. I put a bid in. I thought it had been accepted. And then the next minute, it said, Liverpool have signed him. Frankie de Jong. I put in 107. I'm sure they accepted it. And then the next minute, boom, it ended up at Liverpool. Absolutely gutted that I'd missed out on him. It'd have been classic. It would have added problems because we'd already bought players in, but I would have probably got rid of Van der Beek, let a few players go out on loan to make sure that we got him in. We're never going to get our hands on him now, are we? Now he's at Liverpool. I think it'll be very hard to get our hands on him. He'll have to go elsewhere before we bring him in. Now, interestingly for Liverpool, Virgil van Dijk has gone. He was transfer listed. I don't know if we'd have been able to do a deal for him. Another player that I'd missed because he was on the transfer list. And I never saw it, but he's gone to Paris. And they've done a deal for a right back who is decent, pretty decent, and Nathan Ake. So they're not as strong, you would say, in the back, losing Virgil van Dijk, but they have got Frankie de Jong in. And I think Chelsea have spent the most. I think they'd spent around 300 million, I think their thing was. Deschamps in charge. Yeah, Florentino Luis, who we kind of looked at, but just... We didn't need that extra cover, and because we got the Havertz deal in, it meant that we really didn't need to strengthen. We did put a bid in to start with. We did match Chelsea's bid just in case we were going to do the deal, but in the end, we pulled out and Chelsea picked him up. Bernardeschi, 77 million. Dragowski, goalkeeper, 23 million. Looks like a couple of youngsters. Granit Xhaka, 75 million. And Raheem Sterling, 63 million. So they've done a bit of business. Once again, it would have been good to get Raheem in, but it was probably never going to come from the blue side to the red side of Manchester. And in Manchester City, funny enough, they did sack Guardiola at the end of the season. They've got Valverde in, and they have done not much. Calvin Stengs, youngster, in, decent replacement for Raheem Sterling. A pale-faced 16-year-old striker, who is already on 16 dribbling. Okay. But they've let a load go. 270 million they've worked in here. Where did they finish last year? They finished fourth, so they're in the Champions League, so that's a weird one. So they've had to let go. Well, maybe not, but obviously I haven't needed to strengthen, but they've let go Mendy, Sterling, Aguero, Stefan Savic, who they only had back at the club for a season, Riyad Mahrez, Zinchenko. Any others? Patrick Roberts don't really count. So they've had a big number of players released. Claudio Bravo. Oh, he left as well. Where's he gone? Amen. So that is it. Little bit of extra snooping around. Here we go. 4-2-3-1. I expect to win today. I always find Wolves a tricky one because they do play quite negatively. We haven't, luckily, because they've got Benitez in charge, they've got rid of the back five. Right, looks like it's going to be a corner to Wolves. Harry Wilson. Half cleared. Jota. Defend. Great block. Who was that? Havertz. Havertz doing the defending. Like it. Right. First chance for us of the new season. Pogba. Half cleared. Martial's there. Get in. He's not featured at all in pre-season. I'd actually put him in the under-23s with the rest of the players that were leaving. I've only just recalled him up to the first team squad today. Put him straight in. And he hasn't disappointed. Decent finish. Side foot. We're up and running. 1-0. And they've gone long. Brilliant. Oh, this game. David De Gea, goal kick. Maguire. We are on attacking as well. Could probably move that on down to positive. But I think while we're pressing up the pitch, we might as well be as aggressive as possible, especially against these teams that are outside the top 6 and not one of the big boys. They're in though. Tapia. It's going nowhere, so defend. Oh, they fucking scored. Bailly lets him cross it. And Jota has equalised. This is going to be the thing though. We're going to get picked off more on the break. Especially down that left-hand side because Chilwell's on wing-back attack. Right, Martial. Chilwell, cross, half cleared. Havertz fires it in. His first goal for the club. Lovely finish. We've had 3 goals in about 5 minutes. Here we go, they got a chance here. Willian, oh shit, decent from set pieces. Great save, David De Gea. We did actually have a little snoop round in pre-season with goalkeepers. I'd like to do maybe a deal for like a Donnarumma at some point. I had him in FM19 with the Man United one, but only briefly. Just because David De Gea is getting to 30 years old. He's on a lot of dough. He's got 2 years left. We may cash in at the end of the season. I can trigger a contract as well. But we may do a bit of business there, I think, while he's worth top bucks, and then spend it on a young keeper. He'll be the next keeper for the next 10 years. Right, let's demand a little bit more. Tuanzebe has clipped a lovely ball into M'Bola, who we've seen nothing of in his first half, and he's just given the ball away. They've gone long. We should pick that up. We haven't. They're going long. Brilliant. Ball over the top as per usual. We've saved it. David De Gea has saved our ass a little bit. Right. Stoppage time in the first half. We've got to throw. Tuanzebe. M'Bola. Nice. M'Bola. Havertz. Oh. Went to place it in the bottom corner and just put it wide. Right, it's 2-1. We're kind of in control. I'm just going to bring Chilwell back onto support. We don't need him. We have him on attacking the other one where we've got a low block and hopefully gets in. But because we're playing a little bit more, not direct, but with them players already higher up the pitch, they're going to do, especially Martial, is going to do less defensively. So pulling Chilwell just back a touch might just help us when we get that turnover, that transition on the break. Right, very quiet second half. We'll just see where this takes us, then we'll look at doing some subs. We've only got 20 minutes to go. Martial's, I thought, might drop it down on his chest, but he didn't. He headed it straight to Wolves, and they're going to have a chance to counter. We may look at going to the 4-4-1-1 just to finish, because we keep getting this. This seems to be the only ball. Well, it's the only... Oh, shit. David De Gea nearly took it over the line. It's kind of the only ball at FM20, isn't it? The ball over the top. Right, let's go low block. Let's still drop him on. He can go and defend, actually. What can we do? Tuanzebe is about dead. Right, Soyuncu can come on. He's going to have to play there. If he can just do no-nonsense defending for me. Rashford's had a poor game, so let's go Greenwood. We're on positive still, so we're not parking a bus, but we'll be a little bit more solid. They'll find it harder for them balls over the top because we've got that low block in. Sensible management from me. I'm never going to drop it onto cautious because I've had a thing recently that every time I try and hold on to a lead and go cautious, the team always scores in the last minute. So we're going to keep it on positive. The defensive structure is good enough without having to completely park the bus. Havertz. Soyuncu getting out wide, the centre half. Greenwood. Oh, that was going to go in. Hopefully we'll see this out. We've got a throw down in this corner. Don't lose the possession. Well done. Havertz. Kante. Are we in? Are we in? Are we in? No. Pogba's won it back. Kante. Pogba. Come on, finish it off. Pogba. Ooh, what was that? Was that a little dink? There we go. A 3-minute spell of Martial 13. They equalised 15. And then Havertz with the winner on 16. Not fantastic, but we're learning how to maybe rotate the tactics. 6 yellow cards. On the high press, we have also got get stuck in on as well. So we may see a couple more red cards this season. So we're up and running. 2-1. Sheffield Wednesday at home, that'd be a nice one. I've changed their badge, look. I love that badge. So next episode, I said we'll crack right on. Episode out on Sunday. We will crack right on into the season. Probably get maybe start of October, something like that. And that is it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think to the summer transfers. And yeah, don't forget, like, subscribe, and we will see you on Sunday for the next episode of Glory, Man United. Cheers, guys. See you later.